CNBC-TV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, crafting India's living spaces.
Hello and welcome to CNBC-TV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, crafting India's living spaces. I'm Ridu Bhandari. Today we bring you a very special conversation in collaboration with Blum Group. For over 7 decades, Blum has redefined the way people live, combining heritage, innovation and craftsmanship. Today joining me are Philipp Blum, Managing Director of the Blum Group, and Maarten de Vries, Regional Director of Blum Asia Pacific. Together, we'll explore how India, with its rising lifestyle aspirations and growing manufacturing power, is shaping the future of living spaces for Blum globally. Our theme today is Heritage in Motion, bridging legacy and innovation for India's rising lifestyle. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you here on CNBC TV18. Welcome to the show and welcome to India.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Philipp, you know, India today stands at a very exciting inflection point. We are, one of the largest consumer markets in the world, if not the largest. We are also rapidly expanding as a manufacturing hub for the world. Now, from your point of view, given these two big opportunities, how does India fit as a strategic growth market in the medium to long term?
Well, looking at the Blum Group and our history and where we come from, I mean, for us it was always important to go international. So for us, being in Austria is a very small country, we always tried to go out to the world, to expand. We did that since the 70s actually. And for us, India, of course, is a huge potential market still in the future. We've been here for many years, decades already. But we're very excited about the opportunities that the Indian market offers to us. And I'm very happy that we've invested a lot in the past. And still, I believe there's much more to go for. And I think it's very exciting to go for the potentials in this amazing market. And I'm also excited to see what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes, well, we all are. And Maarten, you've worked across various geographies. You've learned various kinds of leadership lessons, I'm sure, in different parts of the world. What leadership lessons and experiences do you take from India and do you find most relevant to the India growth story, especially as you come here quite often?
I think it's two sides. I mean, I'm being a Western European. I'm from Holland myself, worked in Austria. So that's a particular experience. But I've also was lucky to live in different Asian countries as well. So I think what I take along in my story is just a market like India is constantly changing. You have to be flexible, you have to be agile, you have to be close to your customers. And so this is something that I've learned along the way working in Asian countries. And I'm also learning from our local staff here and our customers, while I'm in dialogue with them. So I think that is definitely something that I take with me as we also keep on developing our presence here in the Indian market.
Philipp, when you enter a market as complex, as diverse as India, how do you really preserve the core of, the Blum Group philosophy, the uniqueness that you have, while also catering to the local needs of the market? They're
not two opposites. It's something that goes together. As a company, we build on a strong foundation. We build on our values. We build on important topics for us, which, for example, is innovation, is quality, is the trust and partnership with customers. And I think that's basically the same all over the world. So that really makes us strong in that sense. And at the same time, you always have to look what local needs do you have. And as you said, India is a huge country, beautiful and very diverse country. And I think for us, it's important to have a lot of our sales guys and our whole team on the street being close to the customer, bringing in the different needs that we can bundle them again and say, okay, what is the appropriate way to deal with the Indian market, whether if it comes to products or if it comes to the structure and the way we sell, our distribution partners, how to address architects and consumers and so on. Of course, it's different, but I think that's the beauty of our business, that the products basically stay the same in their core, but still every marketing approach in every country is different and has to fit locally.
So, Maarten, give me a few examples of that. Something that's been uniquely Indian that the Blum Group has done, particularly for local markets here and maybe not elsewhere in the world.
So I think, India is it's a subcontinent by itself already. So And it's developing as we go. So definitely one thing, for example, we do here and we don't do in other countries. We actually have own carpenters on our payroll as well, to really go to people's houses and to help if something goes wrong, and to help out with that. That we don't do in any other country as we do here. Our marketing approach, we try to actually find a combination between being a Western company and still have Indian elements into it. So those Indian elements also come here from the local team. So just two examples of where we work together with the local team as well as with our global and regional teams.
India is also reshaping the balance of power in the APAC region. There's lots that's been going on, especially in the recent past. How do you see India impacting your strategic growth and balance within the APAC region?
So India currently is one of our largest markets within the APAC region. We have a couple of other markets which are already larger, but they have a longer history in this field. And we see the Indian market growing very fast. So they definitely have a larger impact. As I said, they're a sub-region by itself with particular needs, and we're here also to tailor those to those needs. Our organization has gone through tremendous growth over the last couple of years. And I'm planning on that will be much bigger as well as we grow our footprint. So as the Indian market grows, its footprint within our region, inside of our organization, is also growing quite heavily as well.
Philipp, let's come back to heritage. That's our core theme today. And of course, Blum Group is a legacy company, legacy conglomerate, a lot of heritage with innovation that it holds. You have a legacy spanning over 7 decades. So how do you balance that very rich history with actually the need to move ahead with speed, with agility, with all the new technologies coming in, harnessing emerging technologies? How does that balance or walking of the tightrope really happen?
I think that balance is actually really well. I mean, we're still very much shaped by the values that my grandpa, who founded the company in 1952, really brought in. And the way he grew with the company really shaped the values of the company. So, for example, we really want the company to be here for our employees, for the sake of our employees. We are, as I said before, we have a very strong focus on innovation, on quality, on being curious and explorative. And we hold on to that. So we really want to hold on to our values because we think that makes us strong. Those are the roots, so to say. And at the same time, being flexible, agile in this time we're living in, I think it's more than necessary. If I look around what's going on in the world, there is no other option to it. So I think it's on us to be resilient, to learn to be resilient, to be flexible, to adapt to the needs, and to really see the opportunities, because I strongly believe that the world offers a lot of opportunities at the moment.
Okay. And, Maarten, a strategic vision like that, of course, needs precise execution, and for that you need the right kind of people. So at Blum Group, how do you develop the right kind of workforce? What are some of the unique challenges and opportunities of workforce in India that you've seen, and how do you ensure the high standards of product quality and service that Blum is known for globally?
I think in general around the world it gets different. The labor markets are changing, new generations are changing, expectations on their work, on their mix of work and life. So I think that is everywhere. It's a matter of we talk about an American company or we talk about an Indian or an Austrian company. So that is what faces us as well. So how long do people stay with the company and what is their linkage to the company? But nevertheless, Philipp mentioned it before, we have a strategy of maintaining the company for its employees. And I hope that our employees feel it like this as well, that they feel they're part of a family and that we're all in it together. And I think this is something that we really want to foster as well, that we want to listen to our local staff and not just say, do this, do this, do this, but we have a lot of brilliant people in our organization and we really want to get their ideas. And luckily we also here in India, we have a lot of people that are with us for a long time. And so this is definitely something that we want to strengthen.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, we're going to head into a short break right now. But on the other side, we'll continue the conversation with the global leadership of Blum Group right here on CNBCTV18.com. Stay with us.
CNBCTV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, Drafting India's Living Spaces. CNBCTV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, crafting India's living spaces.
Welcome back to CNBC-TV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, Crafting India's Living Spaces. On this special conversation, we are talking to Philipp Blum, Managing Director of the Blum Group, and Maarten de Vries, Regional Director of Blum Asia Pacific. We are learning all about Blum Group's India growth plans and how it balances heritage and legacy with forward-looking strategic vision. Philipp, if I may start with you. Now, the government here is strongly positioning India as not just a consumer market, but also a very strong manufacturing hub. Now, given that scenario, how do you see Blum leveraging this huge manufacturing hub opportunity? What are the numbers like right now as far as India is concerned, and what are the plans for the next couple of years?
Well, first of all, we started going international when it comes to our production. So we started very focused in Austria, went international over the last years. And of course, India, with the growth potential we see, is always an option for a manufacturing hub. Maybe not in the short term, because we're still focusing on growing the market via the marketing side and the sales side. But in the mid and long term, it depends on a lot of factors what happen. But I think if the market comes as it is expected to come, it could be a good option for us to be here.
And as of now, where are you manufacturing mostly, and what are the biggest manufacturing hubs that you have?
The main manufacturing hub for us still is Austria, where we basically manufacture all the products that we have. We have, since the 70s in the States, a manufacturing hub. We have a very new one in China. We have one in Poland. So we are like in different continents. We're already have this international network. We are highly automated in production. It's not that we put a manufacturing plant in every country, but we need high volumes to produce because of the high automation. So it always depends a bit where are the volumes happening. And depending on that, we decide where the next manufacturing hub can be.
And how much of an influence do consumer lifestyle, behavior, habits have on the products that you design, and anything unique that has happened because of the very diverse and different Indian consumer that you're faced with?
Actually, the consumer has a huge influence. I mean, the first thing we do before we even develop a new product is going really into observation. So basically, it's a bit like Big Brother. We take cameras, we go into end consumer homes, and we see how they work in their kitchen, how they use their furniture, where do they need a chair to get up, where is a step missing, where is the space missing, where is the functionality not given, and so on. And that is a good basis for us to really move forward. Specifically, to be honest, even though the countries are quite diverse when it comes to that, the basic requirements what you need are not the same, but pretty close. So you always talk about functionality, you talk about ergonomics, you talk about space, because no one has enough space at home. So you really talk about storage space. And of course, design is playing an increasing role all over the world. So even though our fittings most of the time are hidden, we still want them to be beautiful and really integrate into the furniture. And basically, we want the furniture to move it and to make it easy for the end consumers everywhere.
Well, let's also talk a little bit about external factors. We're living in very interesting and volatile times when it comes to geopolitics, when it comes to tariff wars and other tensions around the world. Now, how much of an influence do these external factors have on your business, and particularly on your business in India?
Our approach is we can't influence policy. However, we want to react on policy when we see needed. And again, I mean, the last couple of weeks in India showed already how volatile it is. So unfortunately, that's the role that we have to take. Ideally, of course, there's from a company side, having different changes in this is one thing, but it would be good if it take a little bit longer and not the cycle of change is continuously there. So,
well, Philipp, one of Blum's greatest strengths is its research and development and the investments you make there. So over the next couple of years, what sort of innovation is going to take priority? Where are you going to be investing more bucks in?
Well, first of all, we have a core business like with our hinges, the runner system, the box systems, the lift systems. And of course, we always try to make those products better. So in these core systems, the customer can rely that we always have a look at it, that we recheck it, that we find new innovations. But of course, we try to also look a bit left and right. So what could be a next trend? For example, our new product Revego, which is like foldable doors, which you can open and store, is something that really came out of a trend basically from Italy at that time, but is seen around the world, which opens actually living spaces in the whole home. It's not limited to a kitchen. If we look at what's going on in the living and bedroom segment, of course, there's still potential for us to bring in innovation. So we're looking actually left and right. And at the end, what I do think what is extremely important is to look at the services. I mean, from a private life, we're very used to convenience. We're used to a lot of services. We can do everything with our mobile just by 2 clicks. And I think that's also something important in our business area, that we really offer our customers the service they want to make their lives just as easy as possible, that they can concentrate on the things where they can bring value and not on the things that just cost money and time. And I think that's our job, to really innovate there as well.
To add to that, you know, another layer on R&D, on top of R&D, is sustainability. Now, given the times we are in, it is the need of the hour to have sustainable business practices. To what extent does sustainability really influence business within Blum, whether it's in product life cycles, whether it's in organizational practices? Give us a sense of what's happening inside.
The first and most important thing when you look at sustainability, and that's always the big question, is how long do you use a product? Because the longer you use a product, the better. We're not used to that anymore in our consumer world. We're used to getting new mobiles, new TVs, new whatsoever within 2 years or what, I don't know. Our products last basically a kitchen lifetime, so the quality is very high because we think you should never have a problem with a Blum fitting as soon as you have it fitted in. Right. So that's basically the most important thing we do. Then we also go into different measurements across in the company. So the way we use the energy, we use hydro energy in Austria only, for example. So we switch to that. The way we transport the goods, a lot via railway, for example. There are many, many, many examples that all add on to it. And at the end, it's also one thing, and I think that's going to be the main factor. The companies can do a lot, but only if the individuals say it's not only important to do something, but I will do something myself, and I will change some of my habits in my personal life, that the whole sustainability issue will really gain speed. Because in my opinion, it's a global thing. You can't be sustainable in one part of the world and the other doesn't care. You have to tackle that globally. And I think we're close to a tipping point where the individuals say, okay, I'm gonna do something for it. Maybe I pay a bit more, or I don't have the mobile every second year, but every 5th or 10th year, I don't know. As soon as that happens, I think we have a big chance to really get there. I think we should just be aware that we have a huge responsibility for our kids and our grandkids. And
absolutely.
It's the time to act. And as a company, we try to do whatever we can. Of course, you always have to balance it with economical issues. So I can't make my products too expensive just because of the sustainability issues. But we think that ecological and economic growth go together hand in hand. And that's what we're trying.
Well, that's well said. Scaling is often dependent a lot on collaborations, on partnerships. So when it comes to the Indian market, Maarten, are there any partnerships that are on the anvil? Are you looking for any kind of partnerships at this point in time?
Well, I think Blum is, a lot of it's about partnership, handshake mentality. So we make a partnership and we stick to it. And we do that as long as that is possible. Big partnership that we set up in India is the partnership with our customers and our dealers that we have around the country. We are continuously developing new partnerships in this field. We work with a lot of Indian suppliers in different fields also, suppliers as in services that we get. So those are partnerships as well. So we're not a company that says, okay, good, I'll take you and then I'll move to the next one just as quickly as I get just a few rupees off. We believe in developing, selling a high quality product requires good partners that we have. And for that, we work with a lot of local Indian partners. But as we are increasing our footprint in the Indian market, there will a lot be new partners being added to that as well.
Okay, great. And finally, I want to close with a little bit of a global lens, and coming to Philipp first. If we look beyond India and we look at the rest of the world, what are some of those trends that you think will really shape the future of living spaces the most in the next couple of years? Let's take 5 years.
Well, actually, I do think that the space issue, so the urbanization, more people living in cities, I mean, it's nothing new. Basically, that's happening all across the world. So what kind of space can you afford to live in? What kind of space is offered by the market? And as I said before, you still need the storage space. So what I really think is one trend for me is that you want to utilize the storage space as good as possible. And I think we have a lot of good solutions for that, smart solutions, like we have Space Step, so-called, where you can really reach out to a next level by using a drawer side, or others as well. And I think really using the space you have to the maximum and still having a high functionality in it and combining it with the design issue, that for me is probably the thing that's really going to go on across the world. Now, of course, if I look at markets like Australia or America and the States, they have a lot of space.
They have a lot of space, yeah.
But in many other markets, we're like shrinking it together, but still you have a lot of storage items at home. You don't reduce them, so you have to find space for them. And I think that's going to be one main trend that is here to stay.
Right. Space, functionality, design. What would you like to add to that, Maarten?
I think functionality, I think definitely and also in India we will see that there's been, we see the demand for quality products increasing. I mean, if you buy something for the first time, you don't really know what you're buying. So you just buy something just on looks or just on price. We definitely see this already happening as the middle class is developing. Overseas Indians coming back to participate in the growth of the Indian market. So they also take their quality standards also over here. So we see, as people buy furniture and kitchens more often, we see that they get higher demands on the designs, higher demand on the functionality. So I think that is definitely a topic that we see here also in the market over here. And just ease. I think everybody does everything by just swiping and just ordering it over there. So I think services and the service that come around selling just a product, are also just very important. So I think how do we become faster, easy, understandable, and I think that's definitely also a big topic coming forward to the industry.
Right. Well, Philipp, Maarten, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing those incredible insights.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, as we've heard from the global leadership at Blum Group, India today is more than just a market. It's a testing ground for blending global expertise with local aspirations. From sustainability and innovation to workforce development and partnerships, Blum Group's journey here is about balancing a rich legacy with a bold vision for the future. That's all we have on this special conversation. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, it's goodbye.
CNBC-TV18.com and Blum present Mechanics of Marvel, Drafting India's Living Spaces.